loves! I know Halloween is right around the corner, so I wanted to share with you guys a few different last-minute DIY Halloween costumes that you can pretty much make using eyeliner. You'll see I'm using a different kind of formula of black eyeliner in each of these looks. In this one I use gel, pencil, and liquid. You really don't need all three, you can kind of pick your own, but for me I have all of them at my disposal, so I used all of them. I am going to be incorporating other things you probably already have in your makeup collection into these looks, but I wanted this to be kind of like a last-minute do-it-yourself sort of makeup tutorial. So I'm gonna go ahead and get into it, and I hope you all enjoy. So before we get started, I want to kind of show you guys what I am basing all of these looks around. This is an ultra simple, very easy makeup look you can do on your own and maybe wear to work or school and then jazz it up with one of these looks later. I have on my foundation, my contour, and my eyebrows, and I'm just buffing a cream colored nude shadow all over my eyelid. This is matte, it has no shimmer, and that's really important in this. Then I'm just going to take a cool tone mauve-y eyeshadow and buff that into the crease using a fluffy brush. I'm going to take a little bit of a coffee break, and that was a pretty big coffee break actually. That was quite a gulp. Like, girl needed to wake up. And then we're going to start on this winged liner. This is not subtle winged liner. I'm going to go pretty heavily across the lid first with a bar liner, and then I'm going to take my favorite pen eyeliner. This is Charlotte Tilbury. I'm going to form a cat eye with this. What you'll want to do is just follow the outer corner of your eye and draw a line towards your eyebrow, stop where you're comfortable, and then bring it down to meet with the liner on your lid. Super easy, right? I'm going to take some black matte shadow, and meeting up with that line in the outer corner, I'm just going to smudge this all along my lower lash line. You can do this as sloppily and heavily or as subtly as you want. I wanted a pretty smoky and smudgy look, so I'm going pretty much ham with it. Then I'm going to blend using my favorite blending brush, and now we're going to highlight the inner corners to bring back some life to the eyes. I'm just using a shimmery nude shade here, and then it is time to curl the lashes. Then I'm going to apply some mascara. Now in each of these looks I'm wearing different pairs of falsies, but for now the mascara will serve as a base to blend into those. If you're planning on just wearing natural lashes, I would really recommend like amping this up and doing several coats because we want drama tonight. Then I'm going to apply some black pencil eyeliner to my waterline and upper tight line of my eyes to give a full blackout effect. Now for my first two looks, I'm going to be using this pair of beautiful falsies from Red Cherry. These are the 43s, and they're just a natural pair of wispies that are quite long and full, and so I'm just popping those on the eyes, and you can see the difference here. Let's move into our first look, which is a really easy black cat, and I've seen this done a few different ways, but I love this rendition. I'm taking a bit of black gel liner, and I'm just outlining the tip of my nose. You could make this more triangular if you wanted, but I love the way it looks when you just kind of follow the natural curve of your nose and sort of dip in the middle, if that makes any sense. You can see it a lot easier than explaining it. So I'm just going to kind of black out the tip of my nose and make sure it kind of has that point in the middle to give me more of an animalistic feel. Once my nose is blacked out, we're going to move on to the lips. Now, I have a black lipstick in my collection, so what I'm going to do is take the liberty of outlining my lips using the black gel liner. This gives me a very sharp line and I think makes everything just look a little bit cleaner. I'm just going to connect my nose to my lips using a black line that kind of goes right between, what is the proper medical term for that little dip on your upper lip? And then I'm going to fill in my upper lip using my favorite black lipstick, and this one is just from LA Girl. On the bottom lip, I'm first going to outline it using my favorite red lip liner, and this one didn't perfectly match my lipstick, but it really doesn't matter that much. Just use whatever you have. And so I'm just going to kind of outline it, give myself a slightly fuller lower lip, and then I'm going to use a nice dark red lipstick. Then using a black pencil liner, I'm just going to draw 3 small holes for my whiskers. I'm just doing 3, you could really do as many as you want and make them smaller or bigger. This is just what I decided to do, so I'm just drawing those using that pencil liner. I do recommend using liquid for this step because I think it turned out the best. I'm going to draw very, very fine lines on my face, kind of coming away from those whisker holes. And I'm grouping them pretty close together, but you could do whatever you feel looks best on your face. And that is my completed cat look. Moving on, I had so much fun with this look and you could take it in a million different directions, but what I decided to do was a cut out galaxy kind of half face. Starting with the same base that I showed you in the beginning, I just kind of wiped off the cat nose and touched up my foundation and stuff. I am just going to draw the outline of a cutout. You could do this more like jagged, maybe make it into a puzzle piece. I think that would be such a cool idea. I just left mine kind of like you had taken a big chunk of my face and just ripped it off, because that's really cute. Great job, Loey. I'm going to use my favorite palette at the moment, and this is the Morphe 35B palette. This is such a bright and glamorous palette. I'm obsessed with the shades, and I'm going to mix this white with a lime green and a blue shade, and this makes the perfect kind of galaxy shimmery light green. I'm going to dust this in various areas on the face as you see here. There's no real rhyme or reason with color placement here, and I cannot emphasize that enough. I think that the more random it looks, the better. Next, I'm using this great purple, and again, just kind of mixing that in and making things look really messy. It kind of looks scary right now, but I promise you, once it's blended and it actually looks more like a galaxy and less like a creepy painting, we'll be good. I'm going really ham with this dark kind of navy purple shade. This looks really great in this particular tutorial, and you're gonna see I go back into this shade a lot. I genuinely feel like the majority of this half face look is really this purpley navy color. I just felt like it was gorgeous for like a galaxy look. Taking this beautiful shimmery lilac, I am using this under the eyes and a little bit on the eyelid here, going pretty messy, no real precision. I feel like these shades with a lot of shimmer tend to look more reflective and really, again, give that sort of like night sky galaxy feel. Not that you can see something like this from the earth. Do you know what I'm saying? I hope you know what I'm saying. Along the same lines, I am taking this blue color and I'm kind of going in random areas on the face. I wound up using this as my main lid color in this look just because I loved it so much. And then I'm going to take a clean, fluffy brush. This one is super stained, which is why it looks dirty, but I promise it's clean. And I'm just going to blend, blend, blend. Do not worry about getting on the outside of the lines of this look because it's very easy to clean up and fix your mistakes, and I will later. But for now, I'm just blending with reckless abandon. As I said previously, taking that navy color, just going in various areas where I felt like it was too blank or not dark enough. Now I'm going to take a bit of Too Faced glitter glue and I'm going to pat that on the areas where I want this really bright pigment that I am using here. This is from Ulta. It's like a white gold color as sort of a highlight, and I feel like it brings more light to the face. I feel like it looks more like a galaxy and less like a bunch of colors all muddled together. Then I'm going to take this pigment from Too Faced, and this is a red and green duochrome, and I'm going to dust this in other areas on the face. So I'm taking it a little bit lower on the half face, I'm taking it right above the brow, just where I feel I need more dimension. Now I'm going to be using the colors that I'm showing you to just kind of do a slight ombre on the brows. I'll be 100% honest with you, this didn't look too bright. Frankly, I just wanted them to kind of blend into the look without being like one chunk of shadow, so that's kind of why I'm taking the time here to fill them in various colors. I'm cleaning up the outside edges of the look using a tiny bit of my foundation. Then I'm going to sharpen the lines that I created for the half face using a bit of liquid liner. This will make it very sharp and it will not bleed throughout the night. So moving on to the not so galaxy half of my face, I'm going to take this light peachy pink lipstick. You could use whatever you wanted. I just wanted to give more of the illusion that half of my face was perfectly made up, since I do have such dramatic eyes and, you know, the whole look is very out there. So I'm just putting that lipstick on. Then I'm just popping on a bit of blush to complete that effect. And here's the completed look. You guys have got to give this one a try because it's super easy. It's super fun. My lines didn't turn out the sharpest in the end here, but I still think it looked so freaking cool. I don't know. I'm just such a huge fan of it, and I think it's really unique and fun. This last look is a little bit on the creepy side, but I'm obsessed with it. So I took off my half face. I redid my shadow on the half of my face that was galaxy, and now I'm going to go in and start to outline my lips just using a black gel liner. What I'm going to do from there is draw a line from the corners of my mouth going up. I feel like kind of stopping around the tail of your brow, like where it ends, is the perfect place to quit. It still leaves a little bit of the face blank and leaves some room for like error and mistake if you have to pull it out further, but it's not too much. As you can see, I'm kind of following the natural shape that I've created, and I'm connecting it with the kind of drawn out smile, if that makes any sense. I'm going to kind of fill in these triangles just using that black gel liner, and this is great because it will not budge throughout the night. So now using a liquid liner, which I find is easiest for this step, I'm going kind of ham right here. So what I'm going to do is draw little cracks coming out of the mouth. You can kind of hold your pen super lightly. This is easiest to do with an eyeliner pen, and just draw little squiggles or very fine lines coming either out of the teeth that I'm about to show you or just coming out of like the smile itself. I feel like keeping this random is key. I'm actually going to draw these little tiny triangles, and these could be teeth or they could be whatever you want them to be. I'm envisioning them as like scary black teeth. I'm going to draw those on the top of the smile as well as the bottom and just fill them in using that liner. I feel like it's kind of important to keep these random. I made some taller, I made some thicker. I didn't want them to be too symmetrical. I feel like it looks creepier when there's a little bit of randomness to it, and I'm creating little cracks and like fissures coming out of those teeth, coming out of the mouth. I feel like this adds a lot to the look. I'm going to take this matte black shadow, and using a blending brush, I'm just going to go kind of on the outsides of the mouth here. So from the corner of my real mouth out to the corner of the fake mouth, I'm just going to blend this shadow. This adds kind of a hazy, smoky look to this and makes it, again, just look a little bit more creepy. Using a fluffy face brush, I'm just going to blend it a little bit more just to give it a little bit more kind of haziness and smoky effect. And then I'm going to fill in the lips using a black creamy lipstick, although you could of course just use the eyeliner. I think that it looks better with lipstick, and lipstick is more comfortable to wear through the night. I did take off my false lashes from my previous two looks, and I'm popping on this pair of lacy false lashes from Eyelure. I think that these are called the Carnival. I'm obsessed with them, and I think they look beautiful with this look. They actually have like little triangles of lace that I think just look so creepy and fun. And here's the completed look. I actually added a fake septum ring just for a little bit of something, but I'm obsessed with this. It's really easy, and I think it definitely looks creepy without being too much. Gonna be it. I really hope you guys found this helpful. I hope you enjoyed. This was kind of a last minute thing for me. Actually, when I'm filming this, I'm supposed to be packing for New York, and I had like this spur of the moment inspiration for a few different looks that I was going to fit into my other DIY like Halloween costume video that is coming a little bit later. And I was just kind of like, screw it, you can do all of these with makeup anyway, so I thought I would make it its own video. But yeah, I hope you guys liked it. I will see you all in the next video. I hope you have an amazing day, and happy Halloween. Bye.